But Mirror is going to be the first defensive ban. Interesting, because that now guarantees us at least a majority of Azami, Solis, Valkyrie. So many of these powerful defenders left up. Fenrir was going to be my last one to pick up on. He is going to be taken away. So that leaves us with, we would expect from the SSG Rome, getting up there on top floor, playing your life, fighting through the verticals. Mowgli taking some damage there, but does manage to find the spray down onto the man playing stage. Can't quite get the finish onto Hot and Cold just yet, though.
And he's getting taken down from above as well as Ashen. Gets him below. Really good bit of team play coming out there. They're shooting from the hatch below and from above. Everything going off on the ground floor, but at the same time, P4's got himself in, and down goes the diffuser here. They're going to stick it, and there's still 8 players and the server team.
We've always known, how do you beat the SSG Rome? You rush into site and you put the diffuser down whilst everybody's around the map, and that is exactly what Wolves have done there. Fantastic play from them to spot and take that opportunity. Ashen has got himself back down. The kills start coming in, but it is not to the advantage of SSG as 2 go to Wolves. P4 Bibu picking up important numbers along the way. J9O just looking to see if he can find his man, but no, walking into crosshires. Wolves have got this locked down. It's all up to Fultz, Des.
A bit too much to do here with 10 seconds on the clock as well. Wolves have played it patiently, they've played it well, and this should grant them the round win, even if Fultz are to go through and get the last man.
A little bit of utility along the way, but not really making too much progress yet. 30 seconds, and Wolves are pushing down blue at the same time, so at least they've got this multi-angled push that we like to see on Church and Arsenal. They can't allow SSG to just line up in one direction. Bibu just trying to use those Grim canisters, sending the bees to just try and force those players out of blue, but right now Wolves, they're just not moving. SSG, Hot and Cold, he manages to find Deadshot. Bibu with 1 from blue, but the trade is there for J9O, and with 5 seconds left to go, it's all up to Shinka. How many times have we...
They need to get the round moving. And so it just feels that little bit of sync here where Mowgli's still trying to play a very kind of solo operator, and it is going to cost them a competition like this.
We see Fultz put down but not out, and Boris tries to get himself out of the window to rescue something from that situation, but it's Ashen who is going to be the saviour, manages to find a couple of kills. Fultz is down, but very possibly be picked up now, and only losing Forest in that whole situation, but finding yourself in a 4 versus 2 really is not the end of the world for SSG, although Fultz, he's on a real tight time scale now, and it looks like the pickup is coming just in the nick of time.
Real good. You saw the tuber outwork there as well, just keeping those Selmas pinned for a while, an extra 20 seconds that gave them a bit of time to reposition, turn their focus out towards this side of things. I think that EMP missed the K9 mine. It got just enough on there to get the bathroom wall opened up, which will force the players away. But again, for SSG, knowing that the 2 players are pushing in on this side, you've heard the EMP, you know the Selmas are coming on through, you know what's going on, you can just sit and watch and wait, and that's exactly what they'll do. Shinka once again in a 1v3, but we know how this ends, Tim.
Almost certainly at this point. SSG are looking pretty sharp, and they've got the crossfires established, 1 in construction, 1 in logistics, so it's going to be very difficult for Shinka to be able to comfortably move around site here. There's no real opportunity for him to put the diffuser down. He's got to start trying to find himself some kills. 15 seconds left to go, and SSG are playing this smart. They're not overcommitting, they're not looking for the gunfights, they're not chasing the kill. They're going to do exactly what they need to, which is force Shinka into that position to have up back out towards that normal breach inside.
I swear if he peeks us and dies again, honestly, you've got 2 globals in back pocket. We said last round that you're pulling too far ahead of the team. Everyone else is still doing setup work, and you're peeking an angle where you've already been shot once. You know, I hate to say it, but Mowgli is costing his team so much in these early and mid rounds.
He does actually stick it. Instead of moving around, he's going to open up logistics, just giving again that access into construction. Don't need to worry about the external wall too much now. They do have the presence that they need. Really, Bibu wants to get across to the other side and just open up that reinforced wall that's near to the window. It's then going to give a lot of angles for P4 from the position he's in. Although he's actually dropped to work and try and find a path through underneath now. Deadshot's taken out. This was the concern. It's so easy to hold down the lines from underneath. P4 is going to be looking to try and reverse that vertical gameplay, but it's not going to work for him. And SSG, 30 seconds left to go. They're comfortable here in a 5 versus 3.
Wolves are just giving them 1vx after 1vx, it feels like. There's no real trade play coming off the back of it. And your win condition in the Blitz has got no support, no globals to work off of. And they're being absolute.
Going to prevent that information, but it also prevents you knowing if anybody's going to peek out of church potentially. Now then, Forrest nearly overextends. He's going to continue taking the fight. He's going nowhere.
What?
He's got the backup. He's got the kills. It's going to be a double for Forrest. J9 finds 2 as well. And in the blink of an eye, there's Wolves get decimated.
Decimated is the best way to put it, Tim. Absolutely destroyed on the push towards blue there. Everything falling apart for them. I'm pretty sure Mowgli had like a attempted backstab, air quotes, coming down main stairs as well. But 3 players funnel in and get absolutely deleted. SSG barely looking challenged so far. B4 left in a 1v5 and off the back of a flawless round in the prior. This one's looking to go the same way. Wolves, let's not forget, Tim, chose to start on the attack. That's looking like a bad idea for morale.
Great smoke play there from Fultz as well, just burning another 15-20 seconds off the clock as P4 has to push from main. There's no choice whatsoever. Hot and cold, things down. But as soon as that Zoto canister wears off, the exothermic was pretty much at the end of its charge.
They've got 2 more and there's 30 seconds left.
They can deal with it still, but it's likely to open because of the speed of the charge.
The problem is it's 12 seconds on this, I believe, as well.
They're going to keep rotating.
They're going to have about 10 seconds left to actually execute here in a 4 versus 4 with no way of knowing what's on the other side of that wall right now. This is going to be scrappy. I can't wait. Go on.
Exactly that. They're just, like you say, going to have to go in through doors and windows. The Tubarão is still doing the job of keeping that wall closed. It's going to open with about 5 seconds to go, I think. Bibu manages to find Hot and Cold, and here comes the rush. But Ashen's ready. He manages to get 2. J9 as well. And there, that lack of time, Des, is what we saw. It was down inside of 40-50 seconds. We can take a massive pause here. I can take my hand off my mic. We're going to have a chat, and we're going to decide what we're doing and how we're going forward. It's been done quite quickly. And now they're moving on in. Now they're finding kills. Forrest finds an opener onto Bibu. They're trying to work around the Tubarão canisters, so the Selma won't detonate for now. But it's not going to matter if Forrest can just stand inside a Moto and get kills.
It's a temporary delay, and they will not be too fussed about that unless the defenders can get them off the wall. I heard the impact come over, and P4's managed to get himself out in the long corridor. What the hell happened there? No one was watching from main stairs, and he's punished. The attack on towards the church wall. Still, it's a 4 versus 2. SSG could potentially pull this one back around. They've got time to work with, but Wolves have done enough here off the back of a big play from P4.
Yeah, that's what it needs at the minute for Wolves, is people stepping up, making those big plays. We always say you can't rely on hero moments, but sometimes you need them. And Wolves, it might just help them build a bit of momentum on the defence here. Don't forget, 5 rounds in a row have gone to SSG, so this is going to be a big moment for Wolves. If they can close this round out, they've got everything they need to now. 4 versus 3, clock ticking down. They've got the tools at hand. They just need to make sure they're picking up the kills. Hot and Cold, he's going to get nothing from Dirt for free here. However, maybe he will. He finds Shinka, but no. Mowgli with a double. P4 chips in, and that's going to be Wolves taking the round. Those Zoto canisters, we saw attempts to breach that cash wall previously to move Deadshot. So Deadshot really needs Mowgli to play smart here so that he can keep hold of that wall. Bibu manages to pick up Forrest, and it is all starting to fall apart for SSG as Wolves find kill after kill. Mowgli has done his job with the Zoto canister as well.
Tubarão coming in that is going to make this an absolute headache to get through. The thing is, they do get the window open to Bibu here, and this window is now under threat.
On the side of SSG, if you remember, we commented last time about how they'd struggled to get the wall open, so this time they've brought along the Thatcher, but it's all falling apart as they try to get aggressive. Wolves, they stand tall, manage to find themselves a bunch of kills. Fultz finds himself one on the fadeaway, picking up Deadshot, but he's all alone in a 1 versus 2.
Wow. This is looking wild. In fact, this round really epitomizes what we spoke about in the pre-show as well, Tim, is that the introduction of Tubarão and the very, very slow game that the current defender meta favors actually exacerbates the TDM meta. It forces teams to play fast and go aggressive. And that's exactly what you've seen SSG do. Rather than getting hooked up into this game of Tubarão and Bandit and Kaid and the slow play that comes out of the Chanka, they've just said, right, guys, go for it. Run up red stairs, charge at them, force gunfights, and hope for the best. That's why things like the Blitz become quite strong here, is it does enable you to, on a dime, just spin and go from 0 to 100 incredibly quickly. Here it hasn't worked out. Wolves were ready. They adapted well. I think Fultz probably will find himself picked off here towards the back end of this round. And from what I've just heard, there is going to be attack timeout.
Is to find a kill or two. If they can get themselves into that 5v4, 5v3 potentially, the utility they've got on the board, there we go. Ashen manages to find Deadshot. Now you start looking at it and thinking, right, how do Wolves deal with that Monty? How do they deal with that Capitao? It's going to be difficult. Forest, he's in there. He's feeding that information back. J9, he's backing him up, finds the kill onto Mowgli, and that leaves him now. Important kill for Wolves comes in though. Bibu slams him through the wall.
This is a problem now because Forest is a little bit left by himself with the team support. It's great. Fultz on the upstairs. They know where one more is inside the dirt. The other's pushed inside. This should be easy for SSG to get the close they need. Hot and cold with a big 2K at the end as well. And that monster
with the Zoto canisters, it's just creating multiple angles for him to play against. You can hear the X-Kairos are going to detonate on his other wall as well. It's getting to a point where Deadshot is going to have to be moved away, so they've done a better job of this of SSG this time. Forest manages to get a double. Mowgli onto Hot and Cold, 3 versus 3. Deadshot needs to be dealt with, but isn't. Mowgli goes wild elsewhere, and all of a sudden, it's a 3 versus 1 for Wolves, and they keep themselves fighting. I think we're probably going to see all 12 at least, Des.
Good bit of team play there from Deadshot and Mowgli holding out towards this side of the map, and you've seen that team play coming in so much stronger on the defensive side than on the attack. On attack, they look like two completely separate players that aren't aligned on the pace they want to move at. The defensive side, chuck them in an area and say, hold this down. And with the backing of P4 and the Azami behind them as well, they've looked rock solid. And for a second, I really thought SSG would run away with the round when they got that 2 or 3 kill flurry, but completely turned around by Wolves and Fultz. Left in a 1v3, 6-5. It looks like it's going to be here, Tim.
Seeing the alternative use of those Zoto canisters as well. Fultz manages to work around it as he jumps in the window and gets the headshot onto Mowgli. 1 versus 3 becomes 1 versus 2. 45 seconds, so he's got plenty of time to play with. The problem that he's got is that they now know exactly where he is. Fultz does have diffuser in hand, so you know there is a potential opportunity there. He's going to use the utility against them, take cover behind the weights, and he might just have an opportunity to get this down here. Deadshot has to rotate, and he's going to come off it, but there was potential that he could have stuck it. He manages to bring it back to 1v1. He knows where the last one is, and that could be a smart rotate through the fire, Des.
15 seconds to play with, though. He's got to catch his man, and Shinka is so good in these clutches. But Fultz has got to go fast. He's got to go quick. Looks out towards main stairs. He misses the shots. Fultz could find it, but no! Shinka holds on to that title. Bought that bar hatch. I really want this player out of blue, and right now the Azami is not moving an inch.
This is it. You know, you can put more Grim canisters in there, but Deadshot has proved that he's willing to stay in and amongst him. He's got the diffuser. What a smart read from Deadshot. He knows they've got to challenge him, but Hot and Cold comes around the corner. Here comes SSG, and they manage in the last 30 seconds to turn it around. They looked just get it over the line. 7-5 after a good fight back from Wolves. So I'm sure we're in for another close affair here on Cafe. The band's raining in. Monte, Ying, Solis will be our first 3, and Mira will round things out. Able to do a little bit of that work that they might need. So Forest certainly needs to be careful if they want him to keep hold of that top floor. But Shinka, with the use, I would guess, of those Valkyrie cams, is going to know exactly when and where. And takes down Fultz with the Nitro.
They have no idea Bibu's there. He's about to get an absolute freebie here. Finds one for himself. Surely could round the corner and find one more. I believe it was Forest who was working in just behind him at this point. Yep, there he is. At least he's got Bibu penned in, but you're down to a massive numbers disadvantage here. Going to find himself getting burnt out. Maybell just died to the fire here. Just about escapes. Forest waiting for him to move. Will find his man and finally get the clean down, but as equally a trade on the main stairs as Mowgli gets hot and cold. A 1 versus 3 for SSG. The round has crumbled, Tim.
Yeah, it certainly has, and the thing you've got to look at is SSG haven't even really got beyond the first step. They haven't taken top floor control. They, they've kind of got it now, but they've kind of been given it really because Wolves just dropped away onto Mowgli, and he's going to have to hold on.
Just saw loads of gadgets suddenly get pulled out by SSG. Hot and Cold has dumped everything in towards site. They're in, trying to make it happen. Mowgli's got one from inside Piano. Fultz off towards New Bout. Gets one back on the other side. I spoke about this 1-for-1 play, but Ashen's got himself a second in the round. SSG all but cleaned up. It's just Shinka left standing in a 1 versus 3. And they'll win that one comfortably.
Dramatic push through something like Freezer Hatch, for example. Forrest continues his work as Fultz looks to push down those stairs and maybe just apply a little bit of pressure laterally as well. I don't think he's too sure about what's going on inside of VIP at the minute. We can't quite see off to the right of his screen, but Shinka is still there in behind the shield. I'm not sure that... the nade does just manage to counter shield. That's big, but Shinka can just play his life here really and hold on. Mowgli P4 managed to pick him up at the bottom of white, and this is what happens when you've got to walk down there and challenge. You get sprayed through the soft wall. Shinka knows where the last is. He makes the call, and P4 steps forward, gets that final kill, and that is going to be...
Going onto the defensive side was better on Club here because he started on defense. He's playing incredibly well. Sat at 6-1 at the minute. The big problem here is don't let them take isolate 2v1s, because that's what SSG have really just found there. There was at least a guaranteed trade coming in, and no one on the side of Wolves really to respond. And being so far back, you can see one on White, for example. They do have the ability to swarm in here if things start going from bad to worse, but Mowgli there almost got shot off as well on White stairs. A couple of inches to the right, and that was a headshot.
Time is going to be the factor here as we come into the final 20 seconds. SSG need to make a push forward. Forrest has got Diffuser in hand. J9O just keeps battling there, but Forrest is miles away. He's going to have to start looking for kills realistically. He's trying to clear out that white stairs position, but Mowgli, he's alive, he's alert. He manages to get both. There's a big finish. You picked up on him partway through the round. He's calm, or you're going to get stuck in an F now. You know, it's so difficult trying to peek into Kiba barricades, which Mowgli is using perfectly. Manages to pick himself up a nice entry once again, this time onto Pulse. Deadshot, good use of the Nitro to pick up Forrest. 5 versus 3, and SSG again struggling to just get inside of the map.
Dare I say, Fresh will love this one, split theory. There's a lot trying to happen all at once across the map here for SSG, really. Like, outside of that fight there at the very end, I've not seen a 2 versus 1 or anyone even being in close proximity for a trade across the entire round. They've tried to take 4 or 5 different points of the map all at once and lost their ones. And when things are going like this, really that's the kind of time you're turning around and saying, this is in a lineup. You kind of have to sacrifice something quite crucial to you on the attacking side in quite a defender stack meta. And you just think sometimes is it worth bringing, or do just carry on? And J9O runs in, gets one, instantly traded out by Deadshot, who equally takes some pretty nasty shots back onto his side. Wasn't the kill shot from the other side, but straight in towards sight. Forrest has full sent it in here, Tim. There's still 4 players left alive. I don't think they were aware about a player being in behind, but Forrest has got it all to do. Manages to get himself one, downs the other, but Deadshot was there through prep for the clean. It's going to be a... Will they see the barrel first? Mowgli playing it so patiently here as well. Again, this is the big thing we were looking for, was we see a little bit of unneeded aggression at a certain point. As Bibba goes in, Deadshot will get the trade. It's at least something for them. And Mowgli realizes he's been stung out by one of those fears coming out from Fenrir. He's back away at least for a second. Still number disadvantage though for the French side.
Deadshot 8 and 4, picking up some important trades over the last couple of rounds. So continuing to go well on Cafe, folks. Just holding that tight angle on White Stairs. Again, just making it difficult. Yes, Wolves have got themselves inside the map now, but they're struggling to make any real progress. And they haven't dislodged any of the SSG defenders, really. Bulch just takes a little pot shot as he moves away. He's just relocating, going to change his angle so he can watch the drop, because he knows it's likely where something's going to have to come from.
It's going to be all guns up play here as well. Barely any drones left on side. Deadshot into a second. Mowgli starts his move. Actually, that's cleared up for Mowgli to move through Tillis here as well. So actually, despite 15 seconds being on the clock, they could make this work, but they've got to be so careful of the verticals.
Need to get into a position to put that diffuser down, and that's going to make life very difficult as J9O picks up Shinka. Fultz with a double!
Now we're here in Brazil. It feels even more to the map. Here we go, though. It's going to be a straight execution. No, I'd say surely not inside about 15 seconds. They want to force some of the SSG players to move, and P4 has just marched his way in. They've used the smoke as a bit of a distraction. He's got 2 kills inside a cocktail, and he's going in for the plan. They've got cover on the top. Ashen swings round, but doesn't find his man. In fact, that's a lie. P4 goes down. Not out, but it means the diffuser will not get stuck. So now it's a little bit of stalemate. We're going to have to see Wolves retake that ground once again, and Forrest just runs straight into Mowgli, who has been hugging Snowdoor across a lot of this half so far, and sure enough, strikes well and true. J9O got it all to do against 3 players who are still on their feet.
Nightmare situation for J9O here. They know that he's in bar back storage. They took shots from East. They're going to be able to pick the man up. No, try to, but they know with the cover coming in from Skylight, there's no way that J9O can do anything. So Wolves are going to need to deal with that.
Oh, hot and cold, almost being decapitated there, sat in behind the bakery bar. Swing from Fultz onto Deadshot coming down brown stairs. A little bit isolated, admittedly. No one there with him again. Really looking to get a backstab on the go. Simply will not be able to capitalize. This will probably be a slow burn round towards SSG win. Spoke about it back on map 1. Their discipline in these man advantage situations is absolutely sublime. Hot and cold's probably dead though.
Yeah, Absolutely. P4 is going to go in. Somehow Hot and Cold manages to stick his position. He was flashed out, but waits for the effects to wear off, springs up and manages to get one kill. Bibu has to dip away after he can't find his man. He's low health as well. And as you say, 5 versus 2 now. SSG just waiting for time to pass as the round is almost certainly there. Hot and Cold, from what looked like a very difficult position to hold on to, has managed to find himself 2. He's got himself back to the safety of the counter, and it's going to be Ashen.
Without that on side here, could sting a little bit, but still have the Amaru, and that's exactly where P4 is going in. Charging forwards, along with the shield, charging in, but still wins out. Fultz gets his man. P4 gets one back on the other side, though. It's 1-for-1 between the two teams. Oh, a great swing into a bit of a self-flash, but it's a 3 versus 2 for Wolves with 1 minute and 20 to play. Surely, Tim, they can do it.
The flashes just mean nothing this round. Kills raining in regardless. Shinka knows the man is there, doesn't know exactly where though. Fultz will be traded. P4 once again in there to do the damage. 2 versus 1. 1 minute left on the clock. P4 has the diffuser in hand as well, so everything that Wolves need to get this closed out, and 7-3 would be a real result for them here on Cafe. But Hot and Cold, he's waiting. He knows exactly what they are. He's going to play a little ring around the roses with the 1 versus 1. Can he close this out for the first completed clutch that we will see in this matchup? He just needs to find one more, but he's up against a full health Bibu.
Here's Bibu, those 1 and 6. He's not been having the best joy in this map when it comes round to his gunfights. And Hot and Cold spots him. He knows that he's sat inside a reading. Going in for the plant as well. He'll be able to disrupt this. Surely you don't play ring around the roses with the yokai drones. It's never going to be a winning scenario. Bibu's really got to try and find his man, but I think he's left it out too late here, Tim. I think he's actually going to lose out to the yokai drones. Oh, no.
Just needs to find that drone. He couldn't see where it was. That's now the case. He's going to have to stick this, though. He's unlikely to have time to come off for a fight. Hot and Cold's just looking for the angle. Is he going to allow this to go down? He's allowed Bibu to get his gun back in his hand. All of a sudden, it's 50-50 again, Des.
Where does he go? Does he wrap around the back, try and go through the rotation, or wrap around through the door? It's left, right, left, right. Oh, and he gets the long range bump. Down goes Bibu, and Hot and Cold keeps his team in map 2.
They'll know as and when that window is about to go, and they'll sometimes be a nitro to follow. None on the side of
cover.
SSG to be able to do that this time, but still the thought process for Bibu. They don't necessarily know that. 5 versus 3 though, as SSG continue fighting. They seem to have found their legs here, Des. They managed to get 3 in a row. It's 5 versus 2, and the rush that Wolves hoped would push them over the line has fallen. It's faltered. It's been unsuccessful.
Not looking great, is it? Right, ending is smoking off like fireplace, and the rotation that led out towards the hallway that you can see here on the right-hand side of your screen, but just didn't really have any cover in the site itself, or were they aware by the sounds of it, the rotation to the right-hand side of the fireplace that gave Hot and Cold that wonderful free angle. It didn't matter what they wanted to do with the Amaru. Always going to get seen out there, and this is probably going to be a slow bleed down, which does mean, Tim, we'll have to see all 12 rounds to see this one closed out.
Certainly looks like it could be the case. If not, it could be an exact mirror, really, of what we saw on Clubhouse, which when those verticals start getting opened up, they can be placed above just to provide a little bit of security, a little bit of safety. 40 seconds left to go. Wolves have not been able to pick up a kill yet, and that could be problematic for them because SSG are poised here for a retake. They're poised to move back onto site. Now then, that was great from Fultz to get up above and to create a problem for that attacking side, but the trade was there immediately.
It's going to be messy. They need that vertical cover as well. Forest force back. You can hear the Decay ringing out here as well. Again, everything Wolves have brought along has been engineered for this moment, but it's all coming down to the last 15, Tim. That means no second chances.
That's it. They really need to clear out VIP. J9O manages to get Bibu. Mowgli gets the trade, and it's going in favour of Wolves at the minute, but with 4 seconds left to go, they've just got to make a move. 2 quick kills come in from Forest and Des. We're going to...
Two of the best matches in the play-in. Well, we haven't seen him play much lately, but a long time, Tim.
Pressure is really mounting on Ashen here, but he is soaking it up like a sponge. And look at that! He takes down 1, and he gets a 2nd on the jump out. That is a huge play from Ashen. He was pressured from every which way inside a cocktail. There were flashes, there were drones, there was utility, but he got himself a double out of nowhere. However, Wolves, they've come back into it, Des, and this has got to be a freebie. Ashen, he's smart. He gets himself away from danger. What a play!
And he's still got away with it as well. Snowdoor wasn't available, so he goes, all right, guys, I'll just go down to the forest. No problem to me, because every player was on the upstairs. P4 looks slightly the wrong way, leaves that angle with his crosshair half a second too soon and pays the price. The march on forward continues. One more goes down to red stairs. Deadshot knows there's a player inside a train. I imagine he does. Does he see his man? I think he knows he's there, but he's got to find the angle. Will just about get it, but he's still got Ashen and Hot and Cold to go through with 60 seconds to play, Tim.
It's all on Deadshot's shoulders at the minute. 12-8 he is in terms of kills and deaths. He's had a pretty good game overall on Cafe, but this could just be an ask too far. Ashen, super low health. It's be a breath away from death realistically. If Deadshot can even graze him, he'll get the job done, but he's got the second man and it's Hot and Cold, and he's got drones. He can feed that information in. They know exactly. The red ping is there. They've got everything they need, and surely it's a matter of time until SSG close this one out.
Oh, gets the one. Can he find the next as well? What a clutch this would be. And a pivotal one because they're on the attacking side, Tim. He's going to try and stick it. Hot and Cold has been in a 1v1 already once this map against Bibu. And Deadshot pulls it off! That is...
In the corner here, he's going to lose his life. Surely, yes. I think he's just picked up on some sound there. Oh, there's the barbed wire. Perfectly placed. That's going to keep Deadshot alive, but Forrest, he manages to find Mowgli.
Great, C4 comes out and Deadshot turns down. He's feeling it, Tim! Finds a second kill in the round, and now once again, Wolves are back on a numbers advantage. Even Bibu's getting involved, Tim! They've pulled the 2 rounds over! SSG will be kicking themselves for that round 13. In a way, it's an interesting small change.
Seen a lot of Valkyrie play today so far.
We have. And Wolves have gone very heavily in towards banning Mira, though, across the last 2 maps. Here, there's going to be the Valkyrie and the Azami going to be the final ban. That is an interesting one, but not wholly unsurprising. Wolves 4th. Beauty of playing shields, of course, you do get to feed this kind of information, and the call is there. They get away with it. And eventually, the best way to beat a shield is with a shield. Shinka comes straight in with the flash, but can't get rid of the clash.
Deadshot once again coming in and getting things going for Wolves. So as he manages to pick up one, P4 and Bibu double down, find them for themselves. Forrest, he picks one up, but 3 versus 1, and Deadshot's there for the trade. And it is again that name that we are shouting. Deadshot with a double in the first round. The Blitz is just hassling Fultz now. He's actually going to do damage to himself with the impact nade. Leaves us now all but done as Deadshot picks up that final kill. Finko was down but not out, but Deadshot was there once again to protect his teammate, get the trade. And
I've loved the aggression in the early rounds. He spoke about it and praised both teams for it because it slows the attacking team down, gives them more to worry about as the round wears on. Here, admittedly, the Leaf managed to pull one back. A trade comes through. Love seeing that. I remarked on a couple of times from SSG, especially on their attacking side, they would miss the opportunity to trade. Wolves not forsaking that opportunity here and at least getting one back. 4v2.
Deadshot kicked off with 5-0. I said coming into this map, he was instrumental for the win on Cafe. It was a little bit slow to get started on that map. How was he going to do on this one, and how was it going to impact Wolves' results? He's come in 5-0. He's stayed hot. He's firing on all cylinders, and Wolves are winning rounds on the back of it. P4 manages to pick up Hot and Cold. It's all up to Fultz. He gets himself a freebie onto Shinka. They've no idea that he's up above, but now that they know, it gives them the opportunity to think about a plant potentially. But where is the diffuser? It's not in hand at the minute. They need to make sure that the timing is right and that they don't push Fultz one at a time, which is exactly what they are doing.
What is going on? Oh. What is going on?
I was worked out. Deadshot just streaked across the map there, one side to the other, and got away with it. But whether there was an opportunity maybe to put an electrical back down, or whether that has now been opened with the Selmas, but seeing the electrical at the back there is going to tell me that it should now be open. Mowgli goes in and absolutely slams Forrest there.
Almost loses his life for it in the process. It gets a little bit scrappy. Shinka and P4 try and pull something back, but for all intents and purposes with Mowgli down, that's 3 players lost on that server side push. Not ideal for the French side. Against SSG, we've got 4 players still up, a 4v3 coming in here. Bibu, he's got to start winning some gunfights at some point, Tim, and it turns out to be now. Plant going down, 3v3.
Mowgli just having a tickle of the diffuser there, but he's not going to stick it for the time being. Maybe just waiting for a better position, a better opportunity, maybe another kill or 2 to come in, but he's just trying to get himself positioned in behind that pillar. But Ashen is up above, hasn't been dealt with yet, and I think that is exactly what Wolves are particularly concerned about, and they should be, as Ashen takes down Mowgli, and right now Wolves have got no answer to the vertical threat from SSG.
Really good from Ashen to be playing it the reverse rather than playing downstairs. Up, he's playing upstairs down. 2 versus 2 and 30 seconds to play. They have got it in hand and they could just tuck away here. Still the opportunity with Ashen down for them to not know this is going on. Might see one at range, but they'll be able to stick it, Tim.
I like that, just playing it really tight. Bibu just covering right over the shoulder of the planter. He's going to use noise for his left-hand side so he knows nobody's coming in. He can just watch that one direction. Now then, Deadshot, he's got a great crossover here.
Oh.
He gets one, he gets two. Deadshot with a plant and a double. And that's going to be Wolves taking round 3.
They're in for a plant.
Position. He's zipped in with the Amaru. He's going to be getting the plant down. And SSG are not going to get there in time. The cover is in place. P4 Deadshot find one apiece. 5 versus 3. Diffuser down. Forest down. Everybody down. It's all up to hot and cold now. 1 versus 5. And Wolves, they are on the hunt, Des. And they are. You've really got to deal with it from below. You know, you've got to have somebody in position, whether that be your Solis, whether that be somebody on an Nitro. You know, you've got to have something there to deal with it from below. So long as the desk has been cleared out, which can be done in a number of ways, if that position has been moved out, then Bibu's got all the space in the world he needs to get in there, and Wolves have just shown that. But Ashen, he's going to open things up with a quick kill onto Shinka, and it's starting to fall apart a little bit for Wolves on this one, as J9O gets a double, but it's Deadshot. He's there once again. He's 11 and 0 at the minute. It's 3 versus 1 now as Fultz finally shuts him down, and it's all up to P4.
Could have got himself a third onto the mirror and the dropper, then swung and got the 4th guy. It could have been a 4K to convert the round over. Now, I wouldn't write things off with P4, by the way. Although he hasn't been like 17 kills on the last map, he's still had 12. He's still been quietly going about his business here. He has been Mr. Reliable in the midfield for this team. So although a 3K is going to be a hard and tall order, it's plenty doable for P4.
Just going to be a waiting game now for SSG. P4 just gets himself up into the top floor. Going to try and use those verticals, see if he can find anybody from above. At this point, he just needs a kill. He just needs 1 kill to get things going. Drops into sight. He knows that there's going to be angles looking through into there. Might be an opportunity to get the diffuser down, but with hot and cold underneath, FNATs to walk into, there's very little that P4 can realistically do here. As soon as he starts putting that diffuser down, it's not even about hot and cold denying the plant. It's about them knowing exactly where he is.
And they're playing all 3 floors as well, Tim.
Exactly. This is a nightmare for P4. He's working through barbed wire, so they're likely going to hear that. They're going to know that he's moving his way. He's got plenty of time. That is the one thing in his favour. But honestly, I think the first gunfight he comes across is probably going to be the end of this.
Will he check this corner by the looks of it? No, he's looking completely the wrong way. It's all too easy for Forest to get the close. One round was Ashen being on the Solis. He had a lot of control up on the ground floor, so if there's quite some pressure there, good. It means they can at least control him away at least somewhat. I don't think he'll make the same mistake twice where he'll find himself getting brought down for essentially nothing. And he's already found Mowgli. I tell you what, he's in Mowgli's head rent-free this series.
Yeah, it certainly looks that way. Bibu's going to take a ton of damage. He's going to take a little bit more as well, and it's going to be enough to put him down on the deck. That's going to be the finish. But Forest, he keeps on fighting. He knows that there's a second coming along as well. And there is a big round from SSG as they go flawless. And what a way to finish the half. Not only 2 rounds back-to-back, just playing the double bluff and getting back out there. And what a start it is. Going to continue taking down utility as well. Fultz does manage to find P4 though, and Deadshot, he's coming under pressure here. Fultz just raining bullets through the soft wall around him. Does take damage from above though. This one is becoming tense.
Mowgli with a little sidestep and Deadshot. Being kind of shot out of nowhere. Really didn't have the expectation, but when he falls, Mowgli is there to pick up the pieces. 2 kills in the round and 2 left standing for SSG. It's all down to J9O and Forest. It's been a very vertically focused round as well. All the kills from Mowgli seeming to come in from above. He's found 3 for himself as well. Wants to remind us the Deadshot ain't him. It's all about Mowgli.
Mowgli just again going to be looking for this final one. I'm sure he's certainly feeling himself in this round. Forest will send up the air jab, just trying to get anything going that he can from beneath, but in a 1 versus 3 he knows that it's a big ask. Mowgli
4K.
steps down, says, that's my 4 for the round, thank you very much. And I'm going to just...
A lot of buck throughout this series, sometimes joined up by the Ram, of course, as well. But here is just the buck getting to work with a little bit of help coming in from the Jackal. But even with the Jackal on side, it's never going to be enough. Deadshot finding Ashen, who himself has just been bullied, it feels, by Deadshot after dominating Mowgli in previous engagements.
Yep, Deadshot finding the entry kill onto Ashen 2 rounds in a row there. He's looking for more. He knows somebody's there.
How?
Peeks around the corner and rips the head off Fultz. 5 versus 3 now. Wolves looking comfortable, but Hot and Cold has something to say about that. Manages to take down Deadshot from above. 3 versus 4.
Tag team, it's Mowgli's time to shine. But that second kill for me is just nigh on unforgivable. You knew that Deadshot was there. You knew what he's capable of. And you're giving him this very easy 1v1. Yes, there's some pressure coming in from above, but clearly not enough pressure because it still took another 5 seconds for him to actually die afterwards. Hot and cold, almost going down, but it's J9O to get P4 first. 3v3.
Yeah, P4 was just hiding away there, waiting for that vertical play, I think, potentially, should they get in a position to put the diffuser down, or maybe the sneak down yellow. He was just giving himself options, keeping himself in that position to work into Piano, or even if SSG established themselves in Piano, he could have hit him on the flank, but they've done a very good job. They've found him, they've turned it around, they've used that intel. It leaves them now 3 versus 3, but time could become a factor. 35 seconds, only starting to open up the breach now. Manages to take off the exothermic as well.
He's got none left as well. That's the wall staying closed. This is all Wolves needed. It really came down to those impacts. They have done the job needed. 20 seconds to go, and Forest and J9O have got to force their way in and win some incredible gunfights, Tim, to get it over the line.
Wolves just need to not peak at this point. Let the clock do its job. Force them into engagements. Force them to come through doorways. Force them into bad positions. Mowgli, he manages to find J9O towards the bottom of Spiral. Wolves aren't really too heavily positioned up here. They're looking to defend that bottom site. They're on servers at the minute. Forest is going to put some smoke out there and dip away. Bibu's there for the traders. J9O takes down Mowgli. 3 versus 3. And this has been an intense first half to the round.
Time for the back line to shine, I think, for Wolves. Bibu, Shinka, and P4 got to get some magic going. Did a better map from Bibu overall compared to the previous two, where especially the last one, he was very invisible. I think 1 and 10 he ended on something crazy. It wasn't the strongest performance. At least here, with him and P4 putting up some numbers, that feeling they can get this over the line. However, you cannot ignore that Forest has such a strong ability here to isolate a player with that shield and just run at them, put them down into the ground, and job be done. So Wolves have got to play real tight together here. It's all about that team play to close out this round.
Yeah, I think the blitz is the important factor. That's where they're going to have to find the value, because otherwise you've kind of sacrificed the gun to bring along blitz. He's only got the pistol, and it just leaves you sort of at 2.5 versus 3, really. So they've got to find some value out of that shield. They've got to find some value out of that ability to bully these defenders. Out comes the impact nade. It is going to be enough as Bibu somehow survives that second right in his face. He is downed. Ashen is going to finish it off, but 2 versus 1 effectively now as Fultz is taken down, and Wolves have every opportunity, but Finker is able to boost his man back onto his feet.
With no Solus on side as well, there's no easy information, but they've got the yellow pings, so the info's on side for them if they need it. They've just got to try and find their man. Moves back over, another one on side. Seeper off the top, Fultz is gone, and it's a down onto the Finker. That's all she wrote. Wolves with a massive pullback after a terrible start to clubhouse.